On Mr. Boala's comments that President Tinubu had compensated the FCT minister, citing the removal of FCT administration from the Treasury single account, Mr. Wale accused Boala of envying the minister. Okay. So now the new perspective, according to Alex Welle, is that it's not about who the leader of the APC is, but the leader of President Tinubu's political structure in the state. And according to him, it's the FCT minister and not the governor. That's amazing. And I feel that at some point, we might get to the point where the argument would be about how thick your broom is. Or what do you mean, Sam Chinedu? Well, you know that the symbol of the APC is the broom, right? The symbol of the PDP is the umbrella. Labour Party is Mama Papa Pekin, as they say. One day, if this thing continues like this, somebody will come and say the broom that Wike is holding, the bunch is more than the one that Fubara is holding. You might need to explain. Say, what do you mean? Say, well, in the grand scheme of things, one person has a bigger broom to sweep away all the problems than the other person. So we've gone from a crisis that involves father and son, as both of them have called each other, godfather and godson, Oga and his boy, of course, many other actors. Every movie has a series of actors, not just the hero and the villain, whoever you might think they are in this case. You decide who's hero, who's villain. Now it has moved to the leader of the APC and the controversy around 001. And now the new perspective is the leader of the president's political structure. Give it time. We'll get to who has the bigger broom. Just give it time. Well, still on Boala's comments, now remember that Mr. Wele said that Boala envied the minister. Well, last week we had reactions connected to this as the Emohua local government chairman, Dr. Chidi Lloyd, criticized the president's special advisor on policy and communication, Daniel Boala, over his remarks against Minister Wike. In an interview with our correspondent, Emeka Otuka, Dr. Lloyd, who is also an APC chieftain, describes Boala as a transactional social critic rather than a politician. He says this was why Boala defected from former Vice President Atiku Abubakar to President Bola Tinubu, whom he had earlier criticized ahead of the 2023 general election.
I ordinarily would not have bothered reacting to what was said by Daniel Boala, whose notoriety for transactional politics is known to the world. You know, when he says compensated, that is the kind of politics he plays. He plays politics of compensation. Everything about politics for Daniel Boala is monetary. It must have monetary value. You know that Daniel Boala, first and foremost, is not even a member of the Tinubu political organization. Neither is he a member of APC. This was until recently, former Vice President Atiku Abubakar's spokesman, who had said on national TV that even if Tinubu was given 30 years, he will not be able to change Nigeria.
Well, Dr. Lloyd also says Bola lacks the authority to speak for the president. He accuses him of seeking financial benefits from the River State government, alleging that the governor is aware of his actions. He further challenges Bola to tell Nigerians the role he played in President Tinubu's emergence in the 2023 general election.
He said that Bola today speaks for Tinubu and apparently has forgotten all he had said about Tinubu. We know that Bola is only chasing after some funds from the River State government. And I'm also very, very sure you can take it to the bank that the governor of River State knows Daniel Bola, that he's a transactional politician who does not mean well. Daniel Bola cannot speak for neither the Tinubu presidency nor the All Progressives Congress. So what he made, the statement he made is transactional. That is why he said he's been duly compensated.
Well, the Emeka Beke-led faction of the APC would beg to differ, as the spokesperson of that faction, Darlington Woju, supports Boala's statements. He says the presidential aide spoke truth to power.
This presidential clarification has once again vindicated our uncompromising stand on this matter and aligns with the policy thrust of our national party leadership under Professor Nantawe Yewada. We therefore commend the sincerity of Mr. President and Commander-in-Chief to stick to party management direction, which allows APC governors to lead the party at the state level. State Governor Seminala Efubara as leader of our party in Rivers State.
Oh my goodness. Would you, I think you're late to the party. We're not talking leader of the party anymore. It's now leader of the structure. 1 week, one trouble. This new week, the argument is not about the party. You need to get with the program. Get updated. It is leader of the president's political structure. Now I'm scared for what it might be next week. But we go from that to the next headline. Paul Ibe, media aide to former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, has criticized the president over what he described as a growing pattern of failing to disclose the return dates of President Tinubu's foreign trips. Newsmen reports that President Tinubu is expected to depart Abuja on Monday, January 26th, for a state visit to the Republic of Turkey, which the presidency described as a multi-day diplomatic engagement. According to a statement issued by the presidential spokesman Bayo Onanuga on Sunday, the visit is aimed at strengthening the existing cordial relations between the two countries and exploring further areas of cooperation in security, education, social development, innovation, and aviation. He added that during Tinubu's visit, both countries will engage in strategic, political, and diplomatic discussions on shared values in finance, communication, trade, and investment. However, and this is an important one, the presidency did not state when he would return, noting that Tinubu will be back at the conclusion of the visit. And so, the opposition did not find that funny, as Paul Ibe, who's a media aide to Atiku Abubakar, questioned the lack of transparency around the president's travel schedule, suggesting that the omission of a return date had become a recurring trend. Says, what is this new trend of not giving dates of the return of the presidency whenever he's traveling? He further made a sarcastic remark implying that the open-ended nature of such trips could allow for unscheduled stopovers. Well, whether or not you like him, you have to agree with that. This is not the first time we've seen this, and it's important that the president is accountable when it comes to travel plans for countless reasons. But one of many of such reasons would be examples from the former president, Muhammadu Buhari. Now, our former president traveled a lot. And many times, he also did not disclose when he was coming back. And so what that led to a lot of times was that the president will first go to France on a state visit. We will see him with Macron. 3 or 4 days later, they will now say, where is President Buhari? We don't know where he is. When the backlash is so much, then one presidential spokesperson will now say, oh, he made a quick stopover in London, for a very quick checkup. It happened many times where the president went to one place, and before you know, we now heard, he also branched. He wanted to go and check a few things happening they will not mention on that country before the president comes back. We will now say, His Excellency, welcome back. We missed you. Please don't do it again. But it did happen again. The second reason why this is important, and we saw this happen in this administration, is that the president traveled and he almost crossed the 21-day mark, which led to a bit of a controversy between the offices of the president and vice president, because that the Constitution mandates that the vice president officially takes over the office of president if he has been away for more than 21 days. So when the president does not disclose when he will come back, and the visit is beginning to go beyond 3 weeks, everybody starts asking, okay, does that mean that the office of the vice president officially assumes the office of president until he comes back? Now, the Constitution also states that the president has to officially write the National Assembly for the transfer and all of that. But it leaves the country in a very tight space. It makes a lot of people ask questions. What is, what was, and what should be? So it's important that if it's Turkey, France, or whatever country catches the fancy of the presidency for the purpose of bilateral engagement. They tell us trip begins on this day and then trip ends on that day so that we can hold the presidency accountable. And so that is what the opposition is stating. The fact that this was by an aide to former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, I want to imagine that Atiku endorsed that message. Okay. We'll take a final headline shortly, but I'd like to hear from you. The numbers to call 0817 923 0002. 0817 923 0003. WhatsApp is 080 903 06416. Please turn off your radio as you call. We've talked about gunmen shooting an Ogoni Monarch. We've talked about the APC leadership tussle. They said the battle is now over structure, not party leadership. And the opposition questioning the president's travel itinerary. Remember to turn off your radio as you call. Okay, this message reads, good afternoon, Oracle. You see the kind of people we have in River State? A fortnight ago, they were shouting FCT minister is the leader of APC. Now they're narrowing it to Tinubu's political structure. What a shame. Odimegu Sonny Didia from Omerilu says, good day, Sam. The political fight in River State is about structure, not in the interest of Rivers people, but their selfish aims. Sam, the FCT minister, would not get it right this time because the national body of the APC are solidly behind Governor Fubara. Because the news going around is that FCT minister has been compensated enough, thereby giving Governor Fubara a clear and glaring presidency support to win on all sides. Pastor Sunday from Rumi Ibo says, okay. Let's go to the phone lines. Hello, good afternoon. Call back if you can. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mr. Oracle.
Afternoon, what's your name?
Yeah, my name is Chima Dika, and I'm talking to you from Rumokuta.
Right.
Mr. Oracle, at this point in time, I do not have, I would say I would not want to indulge myself in sympathizing with the word of my leader, Chief Alex Wele. The FCT minister is the leader of Rainbow Coalition that has to do in collaboration with PDP and APC, which means he is the leader of APC and PDP. And I'm going to tell you what. The issue is that as I'm here now, I have always told you that I am a PDP member. That's why I owe my devotion. But as of last week, there was an instruction that came from our leader that we all should go and do the APC registration. Do you understand that? And we have all done it. Now the issue is that now, before the governor came into APC, who was leading the party APC? Was Chiton Okocha, double as the state chairman, taking instruction from who? It is not hidden from the FCT minister. We all knew that. Now we understood that all this things started from the presidential election. What came into that? Because the alliance between the governor and the now president, when he wasn't the president, which is the FCT minister by then too. That is why you saw the president won River State and PDP won River State and in the governorship election. And since then, everything has been progressing. So what Alex Wheeler was talking is that why he's going to differentiate was that how would you come from out of the blue, want to come and inherit somebody's thing that you have been doing from the onset? Because maybe you are enjoying certain position as a governor.
Okay, Chima, I have a question for you, and I'd like you to clarify this. You said that you're a member of the PDP, but you were instructed to register for the APC. Can you please explain that registration? Register as what? What kind of registration was that?
Member of the APC and the coalition, Rainbow Coalition. That one making you understand. If we are doing meeting now, we do meeting in joint section as in joint collabo.
Okay.
The APC and PDP, we sit down in the same meeting. It's not about a hidden thing.
All right. So
and the person that is instructed from that meeting is our leader from the PDP sector.
I understand. Okay. Now, so the registration was for what exactly? That's what I didn't get. What did you register for?
As a member of APC.
As a member of APC.
Yes, that's the registration.
Okay. And when all of this is over, do you go back to the PDP or you remain in the APC? How does it work after we're done with all of this?
When we talk about Rainbow Coalition and when we talk about schematic ways of politics, we do not understand this man's aspect of politics is what people
Yeah, that's why I'm asking you, Chima. So explain it to me.
I am still a member of PDP. Let it not confuse people.
Okay.
We know what we are doing.
No, I'm not. Again, Chima, hold on. The reason why I'm asking is because I want to know. So,
Okay.
if all of this is done, let's say we are done with 2027 and you guys maintain this status quo till then, what happens to you? Do you stay with the AP? Because now you're registered. Like, I'm trying to understand where will you go back to after the coalition has achieved whatever it wanted to?
Our leader will give us further instruction. Meanwhile, we have not left where we were. Now, in the aspect of, are you okay with that, Miss Oracle?
Yes, I am. But you have to hurry, sir. I take other calls.
Yeah, let me just round up. In the aspect of the Alex Willis saying that this other guy is envious of the EM Wike's appointment. But I told you last week that how can a reasonable person come at an open radio to begin to say an appointment that will be given to somebody to serve the government and the people is a compensation or what? The meanwhile, he that is saying it, he was a very strong critic of the president when he was with Article. Before he was lured back into the APC to come and enjoy. This is an appointment and a compensation. What are you compensating him for? Who should mind their language?
All right, Chima.
And we believe APC as a party is planning to that. That is why nobody has given you a backup instead of having the back and forth clash.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Chima. Thank you for calling. I'm taking more calls. 0817-923-0002. 0817-923-0003. So a bit of a clarification there from apparently a member of the coalition stating that body is headed by the FCT minister. Okay, you see why there would not be political peace in River State? Which one is Tinubu political organization and APC leadership? Can an election be won without a political party? Saken is asking. Well, we are here for it, I believe, whatever plays out. Only persons that lack wisdom will condemn the information from the presidential spokesperson, i.e. Uchibeke from Ekweland says. All right. Hello. Hello, good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon, Sammy. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. What's your name?
Okay. Special Douglas. Let me help my brother Chimadike. I know you are putting him on a hot seat to some of these things. What Chimadike is trying to explain to you is that the APC we have in River State, recognized by the National APC, and the PDP we have in River State are one. Let me tell you, for instance, the local government chairmen that are currently serving, some of them in Kiseka, they are PDP members, but in spiritual, they are APC members. That's Rainbow Coalition. You know that Chief Lloyd was in APC, defected to PDP. But when he came back to APC to fly the MOH chairmanship flag, nobody had his defection. But he's automatically an APC member in PDP's flesh. So also someone at CK, you know, Ikwede local government chairman is APC. But someone at CK is the leader of Rainbow Coalition, the new group in Ikwede local government. So also the APC leadership in River State, both in every local government, the executive members of every APC, be it state, local government or what, are fused with PDP members currently. So that is why I'm believing that those who are encouraging the governor are just playing for one night, both from the national, because they know very well that the governor is not in charge of APC. If the governor is in charge of APC, they would have told him from onset to defect.
Okay, so I understand your position, and of course I'd like to hurry and take other calls, but let me understand. No, I already understand. Let me ask a few questions, right? Because even though I'm not confused, I'm trying to phrase it properly. Now, you talk about a coalition, which obviously means that, you know, two different sides have come together for one purpose. Now, because the PDP still exists as a party, even though they have problems, but it is a party, don't you think it is better that instead of having a coalition, one side defects to the other, or this coalition forms a new party? than to take from a party that still exists and would very likely have a presidential candidate and another party that is the same party as the president and claim that this is a coalition for one purpose. Is that not the definition of anti-party?
No, it's not. That is like collapsing one for the other.
Collapsing?
Collapsing one for the other to exist now.
Okay, so how would you define anti-party? What is your definition of an anti-party activity?
An anti-party is where you openly deny your party when you are still a member of that party. For now, nobody is denying any party. Whereas we are just playing the physical politics and the spiritual politics, like I explained earlier.
Okay.
People who are members in physical, but spiritually they are in another system functioning.
Okay. Thank you very much.
How the politics is. What they would have done to this for this governor was to have encouraged him to enter APC long before they did the congresses. That is how you get the structure. Long when they have finished the party congress, somebody has installed all executive members from ward, LGA, and state, and then he said the governor should defect. And he would defect, and the person who will receive him is the person who somebody else put. It doesn't happen. It cannot ever, no way, it doesn't happen. Just
all right.
And others formed APC.
Thank you very much. I obviously have to let you go. Because I was asking questions, the calls lasted longer than they should have. Okay. So I guess it's been established that there is such a thing as physically being in one party and spiritually being in another. That means your body, your soul and spirit are operating differently. And somehow, I'm supposed to believe that there is harmony within your system. Okay. A few messages and back to the phone lines. Some persons are just there to cause confusion. The FCT minister is not in the APC and is suspended from the PDP. Tinubu is the leader of APC. How can someone who is not in the APC be the leader of the Tinubu campaign group? Alex is just making business with the FCT minister. Tinubu has made it clear that Fubara is the 001 in River State. Jackson from Iba says, greetings, Sam. The statement by Daniel Bwala is very true. The FCT minister has been adequately compensated by the Tinubu government. No APC minister enjoys the leverage that Wike, a non-APC member, enjoys in this administration. Those that are offended are those who are biased, have been blinded from truth and good reasoning. In case they have forgotten, the president would still be president if Wike did not give him the less than 400,000 votes from River State. Well, Felix, that's as much as I will take from your message. It goes on and on. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Sam.
Afternoon, what's your name?
Yeah, my name remains Chief Comrade. I am Breed.
All right, go ahead.
Sam, if you look at what is going on in River State, the Rainbow Coalition, both the APC led by Tony Okosha is working for the president, and the PDP led by the minister is also working for the president. Now, the structure is already on ground, and the governor has taken the 001. I believe that party is supreme. The party leadership can give order the way they give the same order to Tony Okosha to quickly register the governor of Rivers State. If there is anything, the party can say, look, go and deliver this person. And you must obey. You're not going to do a different thing. So for me, the Rainbow Coalition, so long as the Rainbow Coalition concerned, the Rainbow Coalition takes order from the presidency, because the leader of the Rainbow Coalition, the Nyesom Wike, the minister, takes directive from the president. So there is no way, if the president has order, look, I want you people to go and work with the governor of Rivers State. Go and deliver him as the APC flag bearer. I don't think any of them could say no.
All right. Thank you very much. Hello?
Hello, Sam. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. What's your name?
Yeah, my name is Honorable. I'm calling from Nkoro.
Go ahead.
I want to ask a question. We came to Rivers State and registered the governor. Is it not Tony Okosha?
Yeah.
What was the statement? They collected order from Abuja. So when the time of election reached, they were also given that order to come and deliver the governor of Rivers State. Yes, Wike is not member of APC. He's not member of PDP. Coalition, no coalition. Is it a political party? The answer is no. The political party will have a Rivers State, will have a Labour Party, APC, PDP, and other political parties. Not Rainbow and no Rainbow. Governor Singh remains the leader of the party in Rivers State, which is APC. Whatever the APC want to do, they will take order from Governor Singh Fufara. When the order come from Abuja to register Governor Singh, Tono Kota run down. Professor Skema was here. And Tono Kota said the order from Abuja to come and register you. Is it wicked that Tono Kota to come and register Wike? People will talk about coalition, no Rainbow coalition. They are not a Rainbow coalition. When 2027 will reach, we'll teach them how to play the politics. Not now. Now it's not time for campaign. Thank you, my brother.
All right. Thank you very much, Ida. Hello. Good afternoon. Hello.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Afternoon. What's your name?
Yeah, my name is Samuel. I'm calling from Obibo.
All right. Go ahead, Samuel.
Yeah, I want to say that the registration of APC, I want to say that the day the governor became from PDP to APC, there is one order and one statement that Tony Okocha make. He says, I was directed from National to come and register you as a 001 in APC. So that shows what? So it shows that the order from the National. So whatever thing that the APC in Rivers State are doing today, the chief officer of the state, being the Governor Tim Fubara, is the 001 and the leader of the APC. And whatever thing he decides in APC today, that is how it stands. That is it.
All right.
And that's why the National make it that the president say that the governor is the leader of the party.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. A break comes up now. After that, we take messages. Stay with us.